Hello, I'm MrJay, and I'm a professional Minecraft builder for the marketplace build team Aurrora, and in the next few minutes, I'll be telling you the secret to developing your own Minecraft building style, and how myself and other professional builders developed their building style. And thank you to Yomisha for asking me to make this video, and let's get into it. But before I can actually get into the video, I first need to explain exactly what style is. Basically, anything that contributes to the finished look of the build is a part of style. Two examples of this would be these two here. The first one done by William Santa Cruz, and it's extremely cubey, and it uses light to its advantage, while in the next example, this one done by Craftological, is the almost polar opposite. It uses a lot of cubes to make curves, and does use lighting, however not as predominantly, and uses shape to detail. These are two good examples to show how style can be vastly different from each other. Now, I also have two examples of this in painting form. The first one is done by Van Gogh here, which is extremely brushstroke-y, if that is the proper word for it. It uses a lot of brushstrokes that are very directional right next to each other. While if we take a look at this painting done by a Baroque painter, not entirely sure who, it is extremely smooth. The person used a lot of brushstrokes to smooth out the painting near perfectly. There are no brushstrokes visible in the painting. However, styles can have much subtler differences, such as the one here done by Pearlescent Moon. This build is actually quite similar to the one done by Craftological, style-wise at least. However, the one done by Craftological uses a lot of stairs and slabs, which are not full blocks, while in this one here done by Pearlescent Moon, it uses hardly any blocks that are less than the size of a full block, except for a few glass panes. That right there can define the difference between those two styles, and that is a pretty big difference, even though it's such a small detail. Now that I got that out of the way, the secret to developing your building style is to develop your mental library. How developed your mental library is the key difference between a professional and a beginner. An experienced builder has been building for years and has small details on overall compositions and colors already in their head. They don't need to look at very many tips or tricks or reference photos. This is how they can create original ideas. They don't just have a few references in their head, but they have hundreds, possibly thousands, such as roof designs, pillar designs, block choices, street designs, and curves, and much, much more. They use these missile run reference photos to collage ideas together and get their own ideas and to be able to create something new. Whether or not they know this is what they're doing, this is basically what happens. Because ultimately, it's almost impossible to make something 100% new, never seen before. Our mind just can't comprehend something brand new. But our mind is great at collecting and storing information and using it at a later date and possibly tweaking it. This is why beginner builds look like YouTube tutorials, because many beginners use YouTube tutorials to learn, and if the only reference that they have is from YouTube videos, then obviously whatever they create will most likely look like those YouTube videos. So I have 3 ways of expanding your mental library. But first, if you're interested in learning more secrets, then hit subscribe and the notification bell for more videos like this one. Now let's talk about the 3 ways to expand your library. The first I will be mentioning is copying. Basically, taking inspiration from an exceptional builder and copying their style, or possibly directly their build. Basically, this is allowing us to get into the mind of the builder and learn something for his or her experience without ever talking to the person. This is definitely one of the most popular methods. This is one thing that I have done in the past myself. For example, this build here, which I did based off of a YouTube video done by New Haven MC, a Minecraft building team. And this build here done by myself, however, I got a massive amount of inspiration from Pixelbeister and I copied their style. And I learned quite a bit from doing that. Whenever I copied Pixelbeister's style, I actually thought about why were they adding details there? Why was the roof red? Why were the pillars so basic? Why Just why? I asked questions at every turn, and that allowed me to actually get into the mind of those builders and learn something from them without ever having to talk to them. And that's really useful considering that they're a German build team and I don't know German. Now the next way is for more experienced builders. Basically, you just tweak your current style. And that's why I say it's for more experienced, because you have to have a style in the first place, a more recognizable style. But you could also do this if you're a beginner as well by just taking an idea done by somebody else and tweaking it just slightly, or tweaking your thing using someone else's idea. For example, if you're a voxel artist and you build characters that are extremely cubey, possibly build it anatomically correct, and that would be a very slight tweak just in concept, however a drastic different result in the end. Or possibly use only black and white. That could be something that is a part of your style, or mainly use gray, or build things out of a lot of color. Just tweaking something like that could drastically change your style and make it very different compared to other people's. And you can also just get inspiration from somebody else. For example, you might see in someone's style, they only use black and white. You could also sort of take that idea. Not necessarily take, but get inspiration off of that idea. In fact, I am even using these techniques right now. If you check out the last video I made, the style of that video is drastically different from this one. I'm trying out new styles of YouTube videos to help me learn and develop my own. Last but not least, practice. It's going to take time, and you're going to need to practice in order to get better. It's going to take some hard work, but you can definitely get there. I did. Just look at this build here. Yeah, that's what I made just a few years ago. It's lovely, isn't it? If I can do it, you can too. If you learn something new, then definitely give the video a thumbs up. I hope you have a great, wonderful, sublime, majestic day, and God bless. And no, I am not Bob Ross.